It was not a Sunday fun day for our future former Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth. Remember how Hegseth texted highly sensitive war plans on a group chat that included a reporter from The Atlantic? Well, apparently that wasn't his only terrible decision. According to the New York Times, Party Line Pete sent those same texts detailing military strikes on another chain from his personal phone to his wife, brother, and lawyer. Well, you know how it goes. You can't bomb the Houthis without keeping your wife in the loop. It would be a violation of your marital vows.
We both have concerns about it, so we'll see.
Poor little guy had to get out of there before the ketchup bottles started flying at his head. They are so scared of Trump. What is going on? Is he beating them? I don't get it. They just blindly defend him.
The moment Jimmy Kimmel locked onto Trump and Pete Hegseth, it was like watching someone discover two malfunctioning lawn ornaments that keep making noise long after the batteries were supposed to die. The energy was instant, sharp, and almost therapeutic. The kind of roast that practically sweeps the stage clean just by existing.
They're taking his word for it. They're taking the word of someone who paid a porn star $130,000 and claims he didn't do anything with her. Even if Trump keeps his promise and signs the bill, we don't know whether the Department of Justice will actually release all the files or if they'll be tied up in investigations, specifically investigations Trump orders to keep them tied up in investigations. And that is where things will...
Then Pete Hegseth shows up in that enthusiastic, overly polished manner that screams someone told him to stand still. But he desperately wants to point at a chart. He moves with the vibe of a motivational speaker who accidentally wandered into a circus tent and decided he belonged there.
All the top military leaders were pulled off the front lines in Portland and Washington, D.C., and summoned to Quantico for a pep talk with Pete.
Should our enemies choose foolishly to challenge us, they will be crushed by the violence, precision, and ferocity of the War Department. In other words, to our enemies, F-A-F-O.
He's so awesome.
Jimmy turns back to Trump, breaking down the newest round of headline-worthy antics in a way only he can. 1 minute, Trump is proudly declaring a victory no one asked about. The next, he's unveiling a grand plan that sounds like something brainstormed on the back of a napkin while waiting for dessert. Dramatic pauses, the grand arm sweeps, the rhythmic pacing, it all becomes fuel for Jimmy to torch every angle with ease.
Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay, you can just say yes.
Okay,
So.
all right.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't know.
I don't mind. Who are we kidding? I don't even know what despot means. Call me whatever you want. I mean, they might not ever know. Trump claims this whole thing is a Democrat hoax, and the reason he refused to sign an executive order to release the files months ago is because it's a waste of time. And that's the thing about Donald Trump. This is not a man who wastes time on nonsense.
We're going to have a UFC fight. Think of this on the grounds of the White House.
This is an executive order relating to the use of paper straws.
Changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. I know a lot about reverse...
Trump switches gears again, delivering a message with the confidence of a man unveiling an invention made entirely out of cardboard and ambition. Jimmy pounces on the moment, pointing out how every announcement seems coated in an extra layer of self-importance, like he's revealing the secret recipe for the universe.
Senate jumped in and voted yes by unanimous consent, which means the bill now goes to the White House, which means Trump's going to have to sign it. The goal was to have the bill passed by such a large margin that Trump can't put his little orange thumb on the scale and give it the old Cheeto veto. But make no mistake, this isn't over. He's not giving up easy. If anyone thinks he's going to release all the Epstein files, I've got a beautiful East Wing of the White House.
Hegseth, meanwhile, keeps intensifying his monologues. Every sentence has a motivational vibe to it, as if he's talking over a montage of himself running on a beach, hair perfectly coiffed. Jimmy leans into that particular brand of theatricality, transforming Hegseth's heavy emphasis into comedic fuel.
Now, nobody knows what magnets are. It's Lady Liberty. Did you ever hear of Lady Liberty? Don't take Tylenol. Don't take it. The wind is bullshit, I'll tell you.
Sir, why are you on the roof?
He's on the roof because it's the only place Eric can't find him, but This has also been a blow to Trump because some of his most loyal footlickers betrayed him. Lauren Boebert, Marge Green, even the certifiable Nancy Mace jumped ship on this one, and now she's bending over backwards to try.
Meanwhile, Hegseth keeps stepping in with the determination that mirrors a fitness coach shouting encouragement into a mirror. Jimmy studies that relentless drive and twists it into a comedic showcase, presenting Hegseth's efforts as a whirlwind of motivational intensity that sometimes feels more like an audition than commentary. The self-assured tone, the exaggerated delivery, the unwavering certainty, it all becomes a playground for Jimmy's wit. The result becomes a comedy masterclass, fueled by Trump's ability to make even the simplest update sound like a national proclamation. Hegseth circles back in with commentary loaded with such gusto that you'd think he's unveiling a life-changing breakthrough. Jimmy enjoys the opportunity, leaning into the flourishes Hegseth adds to everything he touches. The emphatic gestures, the forceful expressions, the dramatic momentum. It all gives the script room to build and build, each observation sharpening the comedic blade.
Axios said Elon Musk had an expletive-filled chest-to-chest shouting match outside the Oval Office with Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent over who would run the IRS. Bessent reportedly confronted Musk in the hallway of the West Wing and, quote, the F-bombs started to fly, or at least that's what Pete Hegseth texted his wife and brother. F-bombs.
Trump's next appearance brings another sweeping declaration delivered with the confidence of a man revealing groundbreaking news, even when the content sounds suspiciously like something recycled.
He really ran an incredible race, and I congratulated him. It's an amazing thing that he did. I think you're going to have, hopefully, a really great mayor. The better he does, the happier I am. I feel very confident that he can do a very good job. I think he is going to surprise some conservative people, actually. I expect to be helping him, not hurting him. A big help. We're going to help him. We're going to be helping him. I'll be cheering for him. A lot of my voters actually voted for him, and 1 in 10. And I'm okay with that.
What a turn of events! It was like he was giving a wedding toast to his new son-in-law. He's effusive. It's almost as if, and I know this sounds crazy, it's almost as if Trump doesn't have any real political convictions at all. He just says whatever, whenever. I mean, look at these two. They're smiling. He's grabbing his hand. He's touching him all over. He could not keep his hands off the Zoran. I mean,
Hegseth returns fire with his brand of intense commentary, complete with tightly clenched energy and the conviction of someone certain he is dishing out a masterpiece. Jimmy dismantles that conviction with gleeful precision, laying out the contrast between Hegseth's energy and the actual impact. The more Hegseth works to elevate the drama, the more comedic material pours out of the moment. Trump, still radiating theatrical self-belief, brings another proclamation to center stage. Jimmy takes this opportunity to emphasize the bold confidence driving Trump's presentation style, highlighting how he seems to believe every moment is historic. The over-the-top delivery becomes the perfect setup for Jimmy's sarcasm. Every extravagant motion, every self-celebratory gesture, every overly long pause, Jimmy turns them all into comedic fuel. Hegseth bursts back into view with gusto, diving into dramatic commentary like a motivational coach preparing for a championship pep talk. Jimmy notes the intensity, but pushes it even further, turning Hegseth's exaggerated conviction into the comedic equivalent of a protein shake commercial. The cadence, the passion, the stage-ready enthusiasm, it all becomes another brick in a towering comedic structure.
That was some speech. Usually when a big group of people gather in a room for Pete Hegseth, it's an intervention. But this was a no-mercy type of affair. Hegseth said, we're getting rid of DEI in the military. We're getting rid of dudes in dresses. He said there will be no more beardos, which is what weird people call men with beards. And just as it said on Pete's Tinder profile, no fatties allowed.
Frankly, it's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals.
Trump steps up again with a sweeping gesture that screams theatrical flair. Jimmy points out how Trump's style always hovers between triumphant and perplexing, a mix that creates endless opportunities for humor. The performance quality, the emotive movements, the attempt to create suspense, it turns into comedic chaos beautifully unraveled by Jimmy's sharp wit. Hegseth tries to keep pace, jumping in with commentary that sounds ready for a motivational countdown. Jimmy decodes that energy, highlighting how Hegseth seems to speak like every sentence is a life lesson, even when it's something minor. The grandiosity becomes the punchline, and Hegseth's passionate delivery turns into an unexpected comedy sketch. Jimmy keeps leaning into the contrast between Trump's self-proclaimed triumphs and Hegseth's never-ending intensity. Trump delivers another monumental announcement as if unveiling world-changing information. Jimmy slices through the theatrics, painting the entire moment as a spectacle of dramatic overperformance. It becomes a masterful study of confidence outpacing clarity. And as Jimmy closes out this chaotic display, the comedic engine doesn't slow down. It just keeps rolling, building momentum for whatever absurd performance these two deliver next, ready to be roasted again with even sharper wit and even bigger laughs.